Before headlines, Guatemala was a country of imposed silences. Before headlines, Guatemala was a country of imposed silences, a land marked by deep inequalities, where indigenous communities preserved their languages and beliefs while facing systematic exclusion. This story begins where official history rarely looks, in the villages, the mountains, and the collective memory. The Maya peoples of Guatemala are not a relic of the past. They are living, organized societies with their own systems of knowledge, spirituality, and community. Yet for decades, this very identity was seen as an obstacle by a centralized power structure. During a prolonged internal conflict, authoritarian governments sought to control the population through intimidation and institutional repression. Indigenous communities were deemed suspicious simply for existing outside the dominant model, facing political persecution and forced displacement. It was in this world that Rigoberta Menchú was born. Raised in an indigenous farming family, she grew up hearing stories that were not in any history books. From a young age, she understood that exclusion wasn't individual, but collective. Her political awareness was shaped by listening, by oral tradition, and by witnessing everyday injustices. When institutions fail, the spoken word becomes an act of resistance. Rigoberta's testimony is not just her own story, it is a collective voice. By narrating her experiences, she gave words to thousands who could not speak without risk. Once published, her story crossed borders, forcing universities, international organizations, and social movements to see Guatemala from a new perspective, that of its indigenous peoples. Her struggle helped place the indigenous cause at the center of the global human rights debate. It showed the world that justice isn't just about punishment. It's about recognition, cultural preservation, and symbolic reparation. When Rigoberta Menchú received the Nobel Peace Prize, she wasn't honored as an individual, but as a symbol of a people, a historic recognition for Guatemala's silenced voices. The formal end of the conflict did not erase inequality. Today, indigenous communities continue to fight for land, education, and political representation. The story is unfinished. The legacy of Rigoberta Menchú teaches us that remembering is an act of courage, and that indigenous rights are an inseparable part of a true democracy. If this story has deepened your understanding of Guatemala's history and the power of testimony, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps keep alive the stories that should never be silenced.